Yes.
Okay, good morning.
We'll use this instruction.
Oh, that was terrible. Let's try it again. Good morning. That was still crummy. Good morning. Good, much better. Okay, this year at the Olympics is in London. In the very beginning of December, they had a big meeting and they had a kind of a small tournament in London, and the FILA Bureau, along with the Olympic Committee, made a couple of changes to Greco-Roman. It's very unusual. They don't usually make rule changes in an Olympic year. But the reason they did it is to make Greco more exciting. Greco-Roman is one of the least spectated sports in the Olympics, and it is right now being threatened to be taken out of the Olympics, and it's the second oldest sport in the Olympics. So in order to make it more exciting, they had two rule changes, basically two rule changes. Before I go over that, how many have never wrestled Greco? Okay, Greco, boy, if you like to do headlocks, this is your sport. Because Greco is all about the upper body. Obviously your legs are attached, so we can't take them off, but you cannot use your legs to do anything to improve or to defend yourself. You can't do a double leg. You can't do a single leg. You can't do a leg lace. Okay? Anything where you're touching or doing anything with the legs, you cannot do now. Now, the good news is you can lock your hands. So we don't have to worry about that. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to position yourself to do something with your upper body. Okay? With the new Greco rules, when you start, you have to be chest to chest with your opponent. Anytime. No, that's okay. Okay. All you have to do is be chest to chest. Now, your arms are just here on the side, but you have to be your chest against their chest. Okay? And then we're going to blow the whistle. Once we blow the whistle, if you want to step back, you can, but obviously, the obvious reason they've had this rule change is so that we'll get throws quickly, okay? The other big rule change is, in the past, after a minute and a half, we blow our whistle and we put you guys down in the referee's position or the parterre. If there is a score, we do not blow the whistle and we do not put you down. So, if you're a good guy, you're going to wrestle really tough the whole time, and then we won't have to blow our whistle, and you won't have to worry about going down and getting thrown. Those are the two big rule changes. Now, real quickly, how do you win in Greco? First of all, as in any wrestling event, you want to pin your opponent, okay? You pin your opponent, you hold your opponent in on their back for 2 seconds, you win, okay? The next way to win is to win 2 out of 3 periods. In Greco, we have 3 periods, and every time a period's over, you start brand new. The score is 0-0. To win the period, you can throw your opponent for a big 5-point throw when the whole crowd goes, ooh. Okay? You can win that way. If you throw your opponent for 2 3-point throws, meaning maybe you put him in a headlock and you take him right to his back, but you don't pin him, and you do that 2 times in 1 period, you can win the period that way. Also, if you are having what we call a tech, and in Greco, if you are beating your opponent by 6 points, then you win that period. We blow our whistles, you go to your corner, you have a 30-second break, which is different than in folk style, and then you come back to the middle. If the same guy wins the second period, we're done. If the different guy wins the second period, then we go to the third period. So it's best 2 out of 3 periods. Okay? Now, some of the things are the same as folk style. Don't hold the headgear, don't hold the singlet, make sure everybody has headgear today, make sure everybody schoolboy down has a mouthpiece today, because that is an Indiana rule. I am actually an official in Kentucky, but I actually live here in Indiana. I actually went to high school at Jeffersonville, and I was an official in Indiana before I went to Kentucky. And I'm very fortunate. I've traveled overseas with the USA wrestling team. So I've had lots of experience, but the little guys are my favorites. So that is Greco. Do you guys have anything to add? Okay, does anybody have a question about, and today you can wear tights. You can wear tights for Greco and you can wear tights for folk style. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir. You're a big wrestler, but go ahead.
Starting around this thing as well. When you say start.
It has not changed.
We can't still be at the height on the start.
Okay, the only this is if it's 0 to 0 and we go to the 32nd. For little guys, both knees have to be down, okay? You can either start with like this, or you can start the reverse lock. That has not changed. But for little guys, both knees do have to be down. That is a USA modification for safety reasons. But let me tell you, some of those guys can still throw it pretty good. So, question. You can absolutely get a 5-point throw. What you can't do is if you're going to throw that guy, especially if you're down, you cannot go over your head. You have to take it to the side. And in Greco, to get a score, you must accompany the wrestler to the mat. So say you throw him for a big throw, but when the throw is over, you're standing here and he's on the mat here, it's going to be nothing. Because in Greco, you have to accompany the wrestler to the mat. Okay, do I have another question? Yes. In Greco, USA modification, schoolboy and down, you have to. In Indiana, you have to wear a mouthpiece. Come to Kentucky, I won't make you wear a mouthpiece. Sure. Okay, you have two choices. First of all, your knees have to be down, okay? Notice how he has a tabletop, okay? That has to be flat. Okay, that is not correct. Now, we're going to help you here today get it right, but if I was doing an upper level of a tournament, I would say attention, okay? But today we're going to help you. You have to be a tabletop. Then the first thing you can do is the reverse body lock. Put both knees down. Okay? Now the big kids only have to have one, but we're doing little kids right now. So both knees down, and then you put a reverse body lock and you lock. And we're going to blow our whistles as soon as you lock. Yes, and it cannot. Technically, you're not supposed to be over the line. We just don't want you bumping. Okay? All right, next stop is you can just do the on the back. But again, both knees have to be down. And you make a triangle. I know all you guys know what a triangle is. We learned that in kindergarten in my school. So, like that, okay? And then we're going to blow our whistle. Okay, excellent question. Can you let him up? Technically, no. If he stands up, I'm going to say he's red attention. Red attention. If the bottom guy stays down, then he will get a caution in 1. Now, a lot of times, if the bottom guy pops up, then you keep wrestling. But technically, you're not supposed to cut him. You technically cannot cut him. Technically. Again, if the bottom man comes up, then nothing's going to happen. A smart bottom guy is going to stay down, and I'm going to say, contact. And when he doesn't get back down, then he's going to lose a point. But that's an excellent question, because obviously in folk style, you can't cut them. Any other questions? And remember, you can lock your hands. Yes? Real loud. What do you say? I can't hear you, sweetie. Come here. Okay, his question is, when I do a hip toss, which you can do a hip toss as long as you establish your position and do it, can I go down on my feet? Yes, because that's how you land, okay? Now, what you can't do is you can't block take your leg and block their leg as you do that hip toss. Stand and then do it. If you put your legs in as you do the hip toss, then that is a foul. And in Greco, if you're the offensive man who does a leg foul, you lose your position. You don't lose a point, you lose your position. It's not like folk style. If you're the defensive man, then you'll lose points.